Talk about today is you and your friends and or your business on social media in Jeff City. And we're going to cover a lot of ground. We're going to do it very quickly. So we're going to have some fun while we're talking about these things, and we're going to just have a good conversation about a lot of interesting topics. Questions are welcomed at the end. We usually kind of a free-flow conversation, but let's hold them to the end so we can go through the first hour here and then hammer those in the second part. I do have a pad and a pen here if you do have some questions, if you want to write anything down while you're thinking about it, that'll be here. So, I'm a social media strategist. I'm actually a 4-time certified social media strategist, which means nothing except I paid to go to the classes, and I made the commitment to learn about social media and keep up to date on all the trends. I just received my 4th certification about 10 days ago. So, quick show of hands, who is on Facebook with a personal profile?
No.
Who's on Facebook with a business profile? Who is on Twitter, business or personal? Who is on Google Plus? Anybody on Google Plus? Okay, I knew YouTube would be. How about YouTube? Anybody have a YouTube account for your business or personal? Okay. Anybody still on MySpace? So nobody's in a band? Okay. Well, social media is much bigger than just the 4 popular platforms that you see out there. This is everything as of pretty much about 2 weeks ago when this graphic was designed that could be considered social media, and I'm sure there's been 2,000 things embedded since then. But search can be social. If you're using Bing, Bing incorporates social search and your friends' recommendations into things that you're looking for. Things like, and if you're blogging, that can be considered social. Wikipedia is even social because it's a format where people are coming together to create these documents and these information. So it's much, much bigger than what you think of just the 4 main social media platforms. Okay, 7 benefits, and this really works if it's personal or for business or nonprofit purposes. These are some 7 tenets, if you will, of social media. You're going to enhance your brand and awareness. People are going to find out about you. You're going to find new audiences that are receptive to your message. You're going to protect your brand reputation. This happens a lot here in Jefferson City. People have a good, bad, or indifferent experience at a business or an organization or anything, and they're going to Facebook, they're going to Twitter, and they're bragging or complaining about the experience that they've had. We've seen that recently in the past month here in Jefferson City. Several new restaurants have opened up in town, and people have been touting the menu items, and some people have been touting other things about these restaurants, and some people have been negative about these restaurants. So, and hopefully these restaurants are plugged in and are hearing these messages that people are talking about them. It enhances public relations. This is not just a fax machine where you can blast a press release out. This is not just something that you can, just throw information out. You need to have a plan and a strategy of what you're doing, but you can enhance your public relations with this. You're going to build a community, especially in the nonprofit community. You can build an online network of nearby or great distance supporters that will enhance your brand, help you spread your message, and then when you have a real-world call to action, will become engaged and become involved with your real-world action. Enhance customer service, again going back to what people are saying about your business or yourself online. You can enhance that customer service and respond to their criticisms or their compliments online right there, and everybody can see how quickly or how not quickly you responded to that. It can facilitate research and development. People want to hear, people are looking for something in this community, whether it's something fun to do, something good to eat, something spiritual to experience. People can put those messages out. I see that all the time. People looking for recommendations for different services and such. And their friends respond and give recommendations. And it's always interesting to me to see the list of recommendations that people recommend. And it can drive leads and sales. You can find folks that are, more guests are coming in. You're good. Grab a seat, guys. You can facilitate leads and drive sales. And you can find friends. It's the same thing in a personal application. You can find your friends that you grew up with as a child or college or whatever throughout your life, and find these people and reconnect with these people. And maybe they want to do business with you. Who knows? Never can tell. So what social media is, it's everywhere. It's on the back of potato chip bags. It's on everything you see on TV. There's a hashtag or a Facebook address, your television commercials. People, brands, everything want you to engage with them on social media. And people are going to that in leaps and bounds. It's a consumer-driven marketplace. When I was growing up, we had a water cooler in our office, and people would gather around the water cooler and talk. Well, now they're online, they're talking. 800 and some million people on Facebook every month are gathered around this virtual water cooler, having conversations about this, that, and the other that's important to them personally, or to their business, or to their nonprofit organization. And that's where the conversations are taking place these days. It's one of the drivers of the new economy. Facebook obviously just had their initial public offering. I guess shares are stable. I haven't looked in the last week or so what the share prices are. But Ross, do you know what they are?
I don't.
Yeah, Jerry, you probably know. Okay, $28. $28, I'm going to say. It's one of the drivers of the new economy. You can see the jobs that have been generated. 450,000 since the launch of Facebook in the last, well, I guess 12 years now that Facebook's been around. What else is creating 450,000 jobs? That's not Facebook in general. That's Facebook. There are spin-offs. There are app developers. There are guys like me that stand in front of cameras and people talking about social media. 450,000 new jobs were created by Facebook alone. What else has done that? It's still a baby. All of these platforms are still growing. Facebook, 11, 12 years old. Twitter is 6.5 years old. YouTube and LinkedIn are just over 12 years old as well, somewhere around there. They are still babies. They change every day. Things changed yesterday on Facebook. Twitter actually just changed their partnership policies yesterday, which broke off a relationship between Twitter and LinkedIn. That was just yesterday, which sent me scrambling to change some of this presentation, actually delete some of this presentation. But anyway, things change all the time, so it's constantly moving and constantly growing. Social media is a place of truth and transparency. We see this in politics all the time. We're the seat of state government here. We just try, the people under the dome over there, just try to exaggerate their influence or exaggerate their efforts and such, and see how fast they get called out. We see it all the time, especially coming out of Washington, D.C. So what social media is, it's moving your life from your desktop to your tablets, to your hands. The mobile engagement, the growth of mobile engagement is just astounding. And we'll have some statistics or some on the screen behind me here about the rate of growth in mobile application. But people are coming into your business. People are coming into their consumer experiences, and they're commenting on those experiences right there in their hand while they're in your store. And if you're not plugged in, you don't even know about it, what somebody's saying while they're standing in your business. And what social media is, Jerry will vouch this, it's forever. You can delete, you can try to scrub, but that stuff's not going away. If you've got your party pictures or anything like that out there, good luck trying to get rid of them, because they're going to stay there forever. So what social media is not, it's not a standalone solution. This is something that's for your business, for your efforts, whatever you're doing here, it's part of the mix. You still continue your traditional forms of communication, but it's part of the mix. You can't solely rely on this, especially in this market where the growth is still growing, and then the base of users here in Jefferson City and our market, but it's not something you can rely on completely to drive your business or drive your communications. It's not free. It's going to take you time to learn how to use these channels. It's going to take you time to manage these channels. It's going to take you time to do a lot of things with social media. It's not a free thing. It's free to sign up, but it's not free to use. It's barely a marketing platform. These are communications channels. These are communications channels where people are engaging in two-way conversation. People don't want to be advertised to. They want to be communicated with. They want to do business. They want to talk to. They want to friend somebody. Join a nonprofit organization, Christy, that is going to be responsive to their questions, to their requests, to their feedback. It's not a producer of immediate results. It takes time to grow these things organically. It takes time to implement these things. It's not going to be a day one total success. It's not an intern job. You want somebody to manage these channels for you that knows your business, that knows your efforts, knows your mission, and can communicate that. And it's not a zero-sum game. If you make a commitment to do these things, you will see results. You will see an impact on your personal, professional, and community-based lives. So what type of social media user are you? This is pretty much how it breaks down in a recent study by Pew research group that shows the no-shows. 41% of people are not even using social media, but still the majority are. 15% are newcomers. They're just signed on to one of the platforms very recently and are learning and trying, and they're still crawling and learning how to use these channels. So that's that new audience that's constantly growing. 16% are just onlookers, lurkers. They're learning, they're watching, but they are being impressed with the content that you're sharing, with the messages that you're sharing. 6% are clicks. But this is a statistic that's very large in the female population, that they just engage with their circle of friends. They don't seek new friends, they don't seek different types of experiences. They connect with their folks, whether they're widespread across the world or in their own backyard. Folks, 19% are minglers. These are the folks that are out there going, hey, let's do this. Let's go to the social media day event here at Go Bottoms today. Let's do, talk about these messages. And they're engaging. I know there's some minglers here in this room because we mingle together. And 3% are leaders. They're the folks that are driving the message, driving the communication, engaging folks to participate in online or real-world events. They're the ones who are leading the way. So here's some quick stats here, a couple that are interesting. 845,000 total worldwide Facebook users per month. This was in their initial public offering statistics that they had to release. That's how many people are using Facebook per month. 425,000 are using the mobile applications for Facebook, engaging there in Facebook. 55 minutes is the daily average usage for a Facebook account. 22% of grandparents are on social media, and 71% of those grandparents are on Facebook. And it's not just to engage with their grandchildren, it's to engage with their children themselves, whether they're nearby or far away in geographic location to the grandparents. They need to keep up with their kids and what they're doing. Twitter users like to follow brands and like to follow companies and engage that and be impressed by that. But buying decisions are made on Facebook because of the peer influence. People like, if I like Chevrolets, I might influence Stephanie to buy a Chevrolet. If Chrissy likes Ford, she might influence Ross to buy a Ford. So, let's go local here. We've got a lot of room for growth in the Jefferson City market as far as what we can do here in this area. This is a place that is not fully caught on to these platforms as being the modern forms of communication and growth that they are. We have an audience here of about 447 people on Twitter that claim Jefferson City as their address. And I just checked this last night, 53,660 Facebook accounts over the age of 13 are here in Jefferson City. Now, when we talk about geographic regions on social media, it's a little difficult because you're not required at any of your signups or any of your accounts. You're not mandated to put your geographic location into these profiles. So this is voluntary information. So the audiences are larger than this. But this is folks that identify Jefferson City, 3 main zip codes of Jefferson City, as being their physical address. You can see that the numbers here, if you put everybody down to 13 years old, it's 53,000. If you take everybody that's just 50 and over, it's 18,000 folks that are engaged. So it's not a young audience. It's pretty mixed. It's pretty even across the age range.
Yes. Does that include businesses as well? Or
That's just personal accounts. So just to give you an idea here of how big Facebook is, it's almost 9% of all internet traffic. The average age of a Facebook user rose from 33 to 38 in 2010. Users have an average of 229 friends, so don't feel bad if you don't have 1,000 friends or 2,000 friends, you're average. And the average user has never met, I thought this was interesting, has never met 7% of their friends in the real world. That's just, that's the growth. You make connections. Whether I've got friends all across the world that I've never met. So, quick question: sweet spot for a post on Facebook? No answers over here. How long should your Facebook post be for maximum engagement?
3 sentences?
80 characters or so. If it gets too long, you see people posting multiple paragraphs. If you ever have a post that says, click to read more, nobody's ever going to click that to read more. Best time of day to post.
Morning drive, lunch hour, drive home.
Yes, because people are posting, it's for pretty accurate numbers actually.
Sadly.
Yeah, it is. Here in Jefferson City, I actually did a study on my birthday last month. I did tracking of when people were posting to say happy birthday to me. And it was before 10 o'clock in the morning. It was the largest engagement. And my birthday was on a Tuesday. They said it doesn't really work for the time. But actually here in Jefferson City, in this market, we found that Saturday mornings around 10 o'clock in the morning are the best time to post, to have full engagement. So it's not a during business hours tool, especially here in Jefferson City, where 2 of our largest employers pretty much have a block on most of the internet. So people are engaging after hours, early morning, and after they get home. Best driver of interaction. What kind of post or content is going to get the most likes, shares, comments?
Giveaways, items.
Kind of. Photos and video. Pictures. People want to see pictures. If you notice a lot of these quotes, you see these pictures with quotes written on top of them, these funny things, or these e-cards that are popular now that just populate my Facebook stream. They're all pretty funny. And I read them all, and I'm engaging with that. And it's because people engage with the picture more than they would if you just put that funny joke in a text. Using a personal page as a business page. Good, bad, evil. Which of the 3? That's right. That's right. You should never, and it's okay, like I promoted this event through my personal channel once or twice, but I did it 30 times probably through my business page. You should never have a personal profile set up as Bob's Tire Shop, first name, last name. First off, you're violating the terms of agreement that you read in depth when you signed up for Facebook, that big long sheet. That's in there. It's actually a great big bold statement. Do not use this for business purposes on your personal profile. There's a lot of different reasons, but it's just bad manners. And how many times a day to post to get the maximum reach? 2. Yeah, at least 2. At least twice a day. I usually try to shoot for 3 across all of our channels, all of our managed accounts that we do for clients, and that's been fairly successful for us. But yeah, at least 2 times a day. Anything less than that, you're going to fall further down in the algorithm that manages Facebook's visibility of your posts, and you're going to sink to the bottom.
With KRCG, we found 3 to 5 was kind of the sweet spot. Anywhere between 3 and 5 in a day. And again, at the times in Jeff City, it's weird because you've got the state that blocks pretty much the entire internet. So
I'm sorry, yeah, what?
the state, which blocks a lot of Facebook sites.
So has everybody switched over to the timeline format on their personal profiles? You should do that. You should really do that. It's for these various reasons here, but one, it's you're behind the times when people go to your personal profile. And something about personal profiles, everything that you post, whether it's your personal profile, business profile, community profile, whatever it is, 99% of the time, people are going to go there to friend you, like you, whatever, and they're never going to go back to that page again. All the engagement, 99% of the engagement on Facebook is done through the news feed, the front page of Facebook, that news stream. Usually people scroll on average about 3 times, 3 screens deep, and then they'll come back the next time and scroll 3 times deep. And they don't, if your stuff's not showing up on that 3 screens, then you're not being seen. But switching to the timeline here, which prompts you to create more content, which prompts you to go back to the beginning of your life on this earth almost. Actually, it does. It prompts you to create more content, which creates more engagement for you, which creates a deeper relationship with your audience. The timeline also gives you, this is my business page here from several months ago, but it shows you all kinds of statistics, your insights, your engagements, your friends, and what people are doing. You can even get messages now. People are trying to make message brands and such. You guys watch my time, by the way?
It's 9:22.
Okay. So anyway, Just a couple more here. So anyway, switch that. The 6 steps to Facebook success: articulate, connect, engage, influence, integrate, and rejuvenate. This is all about, if you apply those 6 words to your content and to the stuff that you're putting out there, you're going to have Facebook success. And Mr. Zuckerberg would like you to use Facebook for all of your marketing needs. That's why he's got a big smile there, because he's a billionaire. Getting close to the end here. What are people doing on an average day on Facebook? 20% are commenting on another user's photos. 22% comment on another user's post or status. Only 15% update their status each day. 10% send another user a private message. 26% of users like another user's content. And again, that average age, 33 to 38. What do people like? Your wall posts, your photos, your video, all that. When you see the big orange bars at the top of this graph, that's where people want to be engaged with. They want to see what you're up to visibly, not in text. Something you should take home with you is that instead of liking everything, liking Facebook posts, share those Facebook posts. If you really like something, whether it's a brand or one of your friends or whatever, share that content, because that spreads that content further, and it shares it with if you folks see that you like something, but if it's a picture, if it's a video, and you share that content, and you want others to see that, you hit that share button and put your personal comment in the comment box, and then that video or photo goes out to your entire friend list, your followers, and that's worth much more, as you see here in these dollar values that are applied to the different ways you can communicate. So last 2 slides, when you're promoting yourself, that you have a Facebook page, don't be this guy. You know why you shouldn't be this guy? Because if you're Bob's Tire, you're not the only Bob's Tire on Facebook. If you're McDonald's, you're not the only McDonald's on Facebook. So if somebody searches, how do they know they found the right one? And if they search, there's a whole list, but they don't see you, they're not going to like you, you're not going to grow your audience. Put your full address in all your marketing materials, whether it's your business card, your television ad, your Yellow Pages ad, whatever you're doing. Put your full address there, and that's how people will find you, and you'll grow your audience. So the last word I'm going to leave you with, and I'm only 3 minutes over time, is commit. Commit to learning how to use these tools, commit to developing the messages that will grow your audience, commit to spending the time to make your Facebook page, as the Army says, all it can be. Share that content, use those photos and videos, commit to using what you learned here today to make yourself a better and happier social media user. So thank you, and we'll have questions at the end. Stephanie?